Cars, in my opinion, they need to be controversial, they need to shock. Genuinely, that is one of the most fun cars I've driven this year. Ford has finally recovered from what I can only describe as a massive corporate brain fart. As Ferrari launches a 5-seat electric car and JCB launches a land speed record attempt, the world of motors can be a fascinating place. I'm Rob Gill and welcome to Cars Exposed. On today's show, we'll bring you a Porsche that charges wirelessly like your iPhone, a 16K EV that's retro cool and actually makes a lot of sense, although I do have one grumble. But first, let's look at what's been happening in the motoring world. First up, after all the controversial ads and that shocking pink concept car, I wanted to know if the Jaguar Type Zero actually drives like a proper Jag. So I tested a prototype, 1,300 horsepower with 3 E-motors, back to back with a classic E-Type and XJ, to find out. The short answer, it actually does. It's a really nice, smooth power delivery with buckets of torque. Not everything all at once like some EVs, so you always feel in control. It's the same with the ride and the handling. It's easy to make a car all locked down and stiff and numb with today's technology, but Type Zero has a similar feel and character to, yep, an XJ. So it breathes with the road. There's no doubt that Type Zero is technically brilliant, but is it enough to save Jaguar? We'll see. Jaguar say that there's a queue of people that are ready to buy this car, and I've got to say it looks like nothing else on the road. It's a beautifully crafted interior. The rear passenger space is a little bit compromised if I'm honest, but up front it is a really nice place to be. There's a big central spine that goes down the centre of the car with north and south cup holders, and of course there's screens galore, but with the right blend of switches. Now, Jaguar's tagline for this car was that it was a copy of nothing and commands attention. Well, it certainly does command attention. You know, you will be absolutely spotted where you go to the country pub or a red carpet premiere. But will it command sales after years 1, 2 and 3? Let's see. Now, special edition minis are nothing new. The Italian job cars immediately spring to mind. The original Paul Smith Mini from 1998 was an absolute gem. Well, he's back at it. I caught up with the godfather of British fashion to look around his new creation, complete with a Nottingham green roof. Yep, he's a Nottingham lad, and Paul's iconic stripes. And yes, I even managed to get the story behind that mysterious little rabbit logo.
Many years ago, I was on a train going to Nottingham. And I was with an American friend, and he said, "Why are you looking so intently out the window?" And I said, "Rabbits are good luck for me. I'm looking for a rabbit." I just made it up.
So one thing to add is that whereas the original Mini was a limited edition of 1,800 cars, this is now actually a trim level. So you can get a Paul Smith edition as a 3-door coupe, a 5-door, a convertible, petrol or electric. Prices from round about 30K. If you ask me, Paul has done a brilliant job. The Mini Cooper was actually the Sun's 2024 Car of the Year. What Paul has done is just sprinkled a little bit of magic just to make it even more desirable. And finally, I spent some time with the Denza Z9GT. Now, for those of you who don't know, Denza is the luxury arm of Chinese giant BYD, a bit like Lexus and Toyota, except more tech rather than wood and quilted leather. Right now, this is the fastest charging car on the planet. You just plug it in, jump in, watch the footy highlights on YouTube, and the car will have added 260 miles of range in just 5 minutes. That's almost as quick as refueling a petrol car. A full charge takes just 9 minutes. But this car is not just about fast charging, it's got 1,100 horsepower and can literally do spins on the spot like a tank. Now, whether you're actually ever going to do that more than once after you've shown the kids, that remains to be seen. It will eat your tyres. Also, are you really going to drop £100,000 on a car that you've never heard of when just down the road is a Porsche dealership. Now let's look at the hottest new cars coming out, and how can we not begin with the Ferrari Luce, Italian for light, as in light up the internet. It's a 5-seat family car that's been styled by Apple's former design chief, so it's very different to any Ferrari we've seen before. Now, calm down people, this isn't replacing the V6s and the V8s and the V12 supercars that we all know and love. This is a car for super rich Tesla owners who want an upgrade. Now, these rear doors are rear hinged, so they open outwards like a roller. The cabin is next level good. The launch control switch, that's high up in the roof like the controls on a helicopter. The touchscreen swivels on a ball joint. Now, the more you look at this car and study the details, you can more understand what Ferrari's playing at here. They didn't need to put battery tech into a supercar. They need to come up with something different. This is very different. It's not going to be bought by existing Ferrari customers. It's going to open a new revenue stream for them, if you like. Is it 5 years too early? Did they really need to do it now? Probably not. But it's here, and it's certainly got everyone's attention. Of course, Ferrari has done 4-seat family cars before, the last one being Parasangue, but that was V8 powered. It had the similar big grand theatre doors, but that car was compromised by the dash, in my opinion, because it had Apple CarPlay on the driver's screen, and of course Apple CarPlay is very much a touchscreen operated system, so that didn't really work. So this car has fixed all that, and genuinely, from what I've seen, the cabin is next level good. Now, some people are suggesting that maybe Ferrari should take the badges off it and maybe even put an Apple badge on it. I'm not that way of thinking. Cars, in my opinion, they need to be controversial. They need to shock, otherwise they age very quickly. You know what? If Lewis Hamilton likes it, Charles Leclerc like it, they've actually driven it, and they say that the performance is absolutely incredible. I think they know a little bit more about fast cars than you and me. It's going to be tin hat time at Bentley next, because they've got an EV coming out very soon. So while these two manufacturers are very much looking forward to the future, others are looking in the rearview mirror. It's time for some serious automotive nostalgia. I want you to take a look at this. The legendary 2CV, originally conceived in 1948 as a useful, affordable car that could carry 4 farmers and a basket of eggs across a ploughed field without whipping up an omelette. It eventually went out of production in 1990 after 5.1 million sales. Some of those were actually built in Slough. Now, I can confirm the 2CV is coming back as a £12,000 EV from 2028. Now, the Citroën boss, Xavier Chardin, he actually received a round of applause when he confirmed the return of this car at an investor day. The reason that Citroën can do a car at 12k is because of these new, what they call e-car projects. So both the Citroën 2CV and a smaller Fiat Panda called a Pandina will be coming out of Italy from 2028, and they will be stripped of all the expensive driver assistance tech that's been put into modern cars that nobody really asked for. So there's all sorts of beeps and bongs for speed limits and lane assist that tries to keep you in the middle of the road even though you're trying to give a cyclist space. All that sort of stuff will be stripped out, and that allows them to produce these bare bones cars at prices that more of us can afford. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. I'm absolutely thrilled to report that Ford has finally recovered from what I can only describe as a massive corporate brain fart. Look at this. The Fiesta is back. Britain's all-time favourite car was axed in 2023 for reasons that no one really understands. But it's going to return in 2028 as an electric-only supermini, alongside another electric crossover, two multi-energy crossovers, and a specially made for Europe Bronco. Now, multi-energy means petrol and electric, which tells us that Ford and others have realised that they switched to electric far too early. Now, the Fiesta will be built in France by Renault using the bones of a Renault 5. Ford promises it will look and feel and handle like a Fiesta. Is this the ultimate comeback story? I really hope so. I mean, I grew up with a Fiesta. You probably learned to drive with a Fiesta. It's the car that was on every street in Britain. 5 years is a long time though in today's world, with such a flood of Chinese cars joining the market literally every other week. So will Fiesta find its right place right back at the top? Who knows? I hope so. Last but not least, another really popular little car. Now, my son drives a VW Polo. His best mate drives a Polo. Another one of his mates drives a Seat Ibiza, which, let's be honest, that's just basically a Polo in a Spanish tracksuit. Now, it won't be long before they want one of these, the all-electric ID Polo. It's instantly recognisable on the outside. VW really knows that you don't rip up a winning formula, but it's the cabin that really moves the game on. You can change the driver's display here to have the classic dials of a Mark I Golf, and if you look closely here, you can even have a cassette tape graphic in the touchscreen. Absolute class. The boot at 441 litres is bigger than a Golf. I'm expecting prices from £23,000 for the base car with 116 horsepower and a 200-mile battery. But if you want some proper excitement, wait for this one, the ID Polo GTI. 226 horsepower with deliberate glitches or cuts in the acceleration to give it that old school feel of changing gear. I'll report back when I drive the prototype. Here's some more standout cars from the last few months. The Porsche Cayenne. Now, this is the first car with wireless inductive charging. You literally just pull up over the charging mat at home and just let the car do its thing. It's actually pet-proof as well, so if anything the size of a golf ball actually gets in between the charging plate and the car, it will stop transferring any of the electrons automatically, so you're not going to end up with a frazzled cat. You're not going to use one of its 9 lives. Now, every Cayenne coming to the UK will be pre-installed with the transponder, if you like, that's needed for the charging plate, but the plate itself is going to cost you another 5k, so that's 83k plus 5k. But if you can afford a Porsche, you're going to get that just to impress the neighbours. Now, this car is more than just fancy charging tech. The E-motor on the rear of this car is actually developed from Formula E. Now, the turbo version is something like 1100 horsepower. It is ridiculously fast. You may ask, is that sort of performance needed in a family car? Probably not, especially when all the roads are restricted to 50 miles an hour these days. But on the Autobahn, it's going to be a rocket. Now, would I buy this car over an electric Range Rover? Well, we've not seen that one yet, but I probably would. One, it's a Porsche, and Porsche do things exquisitely well. Two, it's just as capable off-road, same towing capabilities, ease of charging, and you're probably going to save yourself 30, 40k. As for my rating, the Porsche is a 10 out of 10 car just for that wireless charging tech alone. But of course, you've got all the usual Porsche goodness baked in. Now we come to the £16,000 Renault Twingo. Now this is a clever retro runabout that's light and fun and easy to drive. It puts a real smile on your face. It's basically a shortened version of the Renault 5, which is obviously the 2024 European Car of the Year. So it's got the same front axle, but a cheaper rear suspension. So it's got a torsion rear beam rather than the multi-link rear axle that's on the 5. That helps save on cost. It's also got a cheaper LFP battery, which again saves on cost. And it's only got 720 parts rather than 1,200 parts that's on the Renault 5. So that's where all the savings have come from that's allowed it to produce, or that's allowed Renault to produce it at such a bargain price. And also, it just looks great. It looks really cool, just like the Mark I Twingo with those smiley face headlights. The Twingo, now genuinely that is one of the most fun cars I've driven this year. I'm actually going to give that a score of 9 out of 10 because for me, the battery ran about 140 miles, still not quite enough. I know it's an urban runabout, but I just think for peace of mind, people just want a little bit more. Finally, and this is my favourite story of the week, JCB. Now, I'll be joining JCB at RAF Wittering soon for the shakedown of its new land speed record challenger, JCB HydroMax, powered by 2 hydrogen digger engines thumping out 1,600 horsepower. Now, a JCB digger can do what, 30 miles an hour? Andy Green is expected to top 400 miles an hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah this August in a 32-foot long car. JCB still holds the diesel land speed record of 300 miles an hour set 20 years ago. Andy Green still holds the ultimate land speed record of 763 miles an hour in thrust SSC. But sadly, Bloodhound, the land speed car designed to do 1,000 miles an hour, run out of cash. This JCB attempt will be screened live on the internet. Now that's never happened before because 20 years ago they were literally going to the nearest town an hour away and phoning things through. We'll be able to be sat inside the cockpit with Andy as it happens. So why is this important? Well, it's important to me because it shows that hydrogen can have a big part to play in our multi-energy future, powering construction and farming equipment, trucks, and even motorsport. The only emissions is water, and of course, is flying the flag for British engineering. That's all for today's Cars Exposed. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to Sun Motors for all the latest car news. Signing out.